Welcome to another Form Tyson video, and in this video we'll talk about how to identify auto trigger in get category. So how do you identify one, and how do you set it up, and what makes the difference? So what I'll do is I'll get some fields here. I'll say full name, I'll say email, okay, and that's about it. These are the three fields we are going to use. Now if we go to a get, obviously we discussed what onload is, but now we're going to talk about what's auto trigger and what's custom action and what separates these apart. So if I go to add object, and let's say I want to bring back a contact, read data from contact. Anytime these two options are not checked, it's an auto trigger. Okay? If any of these are checked, if this is checked, it becomes onload. If this is checked, and it becomes a custom action. If any of these are not checked, then it's always an auto trigger, and then you can run it as however you want, really. Let's say, for example, I want to read from contact, and I want to say email equals email. Alright, and then the fields I want to bring back is, let's say, first name and last name. And now if I click apply and apply again, you can see it's now set as an auto trigger. Because remember, it's not running on load, we haven't checked as a custom action, so therefore it's an auto trigger. And the blue marker is a great way to identify it. Okay, if I click apply and I click save, let's say I go ahead and enter one of my emails. And you can see now it's brought that data back. Alright, so there are tons of ways to use an auto trigger in the get category. You can just about use anything. You can use a parameter if you wish. I'll show you the example of a parameter as well while we're at it. So let's say we do a get and we use a hidden field, and we'll call this field contact ID. Alright, and then in the get, I'll just go ahead and modify it. I'll say, instead of email, it will be contact ID equals contact ID, and then I want to bring back everything. So we're just changing how we bring the data back, but the trigger still remains the same. It's still an auto trigger. Okay, so now what I can do is I can pass this through a parameter. So I can just say FLD50, which is my hidden field, equals this, and then I'll just copy this, add this in there, and as I'm running it, there's my data. Alright, so just to recap what an auto trigger is. Auto triggers anything. If these two aren't checked, then it's an auto trigger by default. So very important to be aware of that. And this is how it's done.